this. Messes almost everything up. And when I first decided that Zumi and Gio and Millie are a possibility of being added to the cast, I settled that they were the only two tiny humans. They're not. Dang you, Tom Thumb! I settled in the lore that... Stop there. In this video, I'll continue from there with a true answer. To be 100% honest, this is probably one of my only scripted videos. Sorta. I actually just written my thoughts in this notebook, and again, just I'm gonna say my thoughts on what I've written and stuff, and see, I'm not being scripted here. Anyway, so now I've just written. So now we need to ask my question through the lens that Tom Thumb exists. It wasn't even him that dropped the bomb. It was his intelligence compared to Millie and Gio. In the Super Y episode, Tom went into a barn, saw a bowl of milk, and assumed it was a pool. When, meanwhile, Team Umizoomi has an entire episode about getting milk. That episode was back in Season 1 where everything was simple. If you're curious, the episode's plot was that there was no milk at all, so they had to go directly to the source, which is the farm, to get some. I don't think we should raid that ocean monument yet. Anyway, this episode existing shows that Millie and Gio actually know what milk is, when Tom was just like, pool. And then I just written that this could possibly be that they were raised by a robot their size, unlike Tom, who was raised by two normal-sized human parents. I think either way, you've gotta know what milk is by then, and past me. Dumb me not taking things into account, right? Continuing on from where things are reasonable, maybe being a human who's tiny is like being an alicorn to ponies in the My Little Pony universe. It's rare, and that you can be born with it, but you just don't have to. So maybe there's a mini-human civilization where Tom Thumb came from, where he was born that way, and Millie and Gio normally lived in Toontown and accidentally became tiny. So now we get the question of how. In every instance of shrinking that I know of, it's been reversible. Except for one.
You got it set to M for Minnie, when it should be set to W for Wumbo.
Patrick, I don't think Wumbo is a real word.
In episode 45A of SpongeBob, the little spongy guy gets a hold of Mermaid Man's belt and ends up accidentally shrinking every show in town. The episode is actually known for that scene I just played, that I give credit to Nickelodeon for. And though Millie and Gio are definitely not a result of the actual main event they showed off in the episode, since they would have ended up normal, again by the end, there's air quotes cause all SpongeBob could do was shrink everything. But maybe they could have been the only two who were accidentally zapped sometime in the future. This obviously happened when they were both babies, as unlike the fish of Bikini Bottom, yeah, really, it's Bikini Bottom, it's Toontown. Anyway, they don't seem to care about everything being huge in comparison to them, and they still manage to live their lives like normal. This may be them thinking they were born like that and trying to make the best of it. Otherwise, they're just optimists. Present me is going to contribute here by saying, also, the fact that the robot that's raising them, has a perfect tiny living civilization that's just the right size. I meant to say situation. And so now we get back to Tom Thumb, who I actually think was born tiny, because there are many differences between him and our two tiny superheroes. For some reason, Past Me wrote, maybe Tom is like 3 or something, because maybe he's not truly tiny, and with the logic of that civilization, instead of being baby, you're just smaller, as why his parents are normal-sized? No, forget that. I know it would explain him having no idea what an apple or milk is, but no. No, that's just bad. But the next thing I written down is, and maybe not though, and just every show in that civilization is tiny, and Tom is just a kid from that civilization who was adopted by normal-sized parents. Another difference is magic. When Millie and Geo became tiny, that seemed to have added to their impossible Tootin' capabilities. Millie being able to change her dress pattern at will, and measure things with her seemingly infinite going ponytails. And Geo being able to build things out of shapes. Anything. Quiz for a people with dirty mind. 2 circles and an oval. What do you get? I'm sorry, I'll shut up. Now you may question this because in the Umizoomi episode that introduced the Shape Bandit, he stole Geo's shape belt, causing him to lose those powers. I know it's been a long time since I've seen the series, but I only remember it happening because somebody, there was a comment on a Team Umizoomi YTP that said that happened. Anyway, continuing. So it basically confirms those powers to be completely unrelated to them being tiny. Or are they? Because as seen in the Power introduction song that stopped showing up from like season 2 and onward, it was like a season 1 thing and that's it. It's shown after Geo makes the formation of a hoverboard thing, he uses what seems to be magic to actually make it usable. In Millie's section of the song before that, she changes her dress as to have butterflies, and she uses that seemingly same type of magic to transfer that pattern to the scenery behind her. We don't need to apply this logic to her measuring power, since it seems supernatural with how long she can make her ponytails anyway. But how did Mermaid Man's belt grant Millie and Geo powers along with shrinking, when the people of SpongeBob Shrunk got nothing but the pain of being too small? Maybe it's something they knew to add to the belt long after the event. But even then, why shrink villains and at the same time give them overpowered powers? That's the thing. Millie and Geo have math powers. You can't use these powers unless you're smart! But why would you grant a grown man villain the power of patterns, measurement, or geometry, which is a piece of cake to an adult? Guys, it's not just that simple math. The math powers are determined by what would be hard for the person and at the age they shrunk. For example, if you shrunk a 15-year-old high school student, they'd be stuck with the power of calculus. So they're really gonna struggle. So since Millie and Geo were shrunk as babies, then that's how they got that simple, everyday, hey, math power. I'll get to more on this lore in a video I'm gonna record directly after uploading this one. See you later.